Maryland governor is going to pardon 175,000 low-level marijuana convictions. All right, put it up for a mass. Interesting tapestry here. So one of the largest acts of mass clemency is Maryland deciding to pardon. The state is going to pardon 175,000 convictions. These are low-level marijuana convictions, and by the way, should have never been convictions in the first place, in my opinion. So the move comes amid ongoing efforts to legalize marijuana nationwide. Maryland legalized recreational use of marijuana on July 1st, 2023, becoming one of 23 states, as well as Washington, D.C., to do so. Details. So the Governor Wes Moore's action will automatically forgive all misdemeanor possession charges the state is able to find in its electronic database, as well as every misdemeanor paraphernalia charge linked to use or possession of the drug. Those with older convictions, only available on paper records, will be able to apply for a pardon as well. The pardons for these low-level offenses will be beneficial for the long term. So these convictions have been used to deny people housing and employment benefits, even after sentences have been completely served. With millions watching and many people benefiting from this program called Indisputable, we just need 1% of the viewers to become a paid member so we can continue to bring this content to you. Now back to the show. And those charges have disproportionately been leveled against communities of color, as we know. In 2022, 2 out of 3 Maryland voters approved marijuana legalization. The Attorney General in Maryland, Anthony G. Brown, voiced it. Here it is.
This morning, with deep pride and soberness, I will pardon over 175,000 convictions related to the possession of cannabis and cannabis paraphernalia.
I like how he said that he was, sober. That was interesting. So it's a good thing, all right? Good policy, you move forward, great. By the way, you should have did it in 2023. It makes no damn sense to say something is completely legal in the state and you have people walking around with a conviction of a legal thing. Let's go ahead and pass legislation to do all of this at one time rather than waiting a year. Now, the policy dynamic is adversarial to progress in employment and also in higher education. In 2016, my first year as a university professor, I remember first semester, there was a young kid who beat the odds, reminded me of myself. 2 weeks in, he sends me an email. He says his financial aid was denied. He's 18. Everybody gets financial aid. What was the issue? He did not understand the error code that was placed on his rejection letter. So I called the financial aid director of the university. She looked up the error code, called me back and said, well, it looks like he had a marijuana misdemeanor conviction when he was 17 years old. I said, and? Well, any drug conviction can disqualify you from federal financial aid for the rest of your natural life. Now, typically, we utilize punishment in order to course correct a societal construct that has gone outside of bounds. And the punishment is supposed to fit the adverse impact that crime has on the community at large. So you mean to tell me you give someone a life sentence, you regulate them to not have opportunity at higher education forever because of a simple possession marijuana charge at 17. And that was the catalyst that started in the state of Georgia, where many cities started to decriminalize marijuana so that a citation, a civil note, would be written instead of an actual charge. All right, hell of a thing. But Jackson, I mean, am I somehow like off my rocker here? I think you should do it at the same time. If we're going to say this whole thing is legal now, let's go ahead and pardon the people that we wrongfully convicted.
Well, maybe that'd be a little bit too much work. You know what I'm saying? We can't do too much at once.
Right.
They're so hard at work as it is. But absolutely agreed. And what really stuck out to me about this is how many people that is from one state. 175,000 people in one state. And you look at state by state by state for all 50. That just really sheds light on how many nonviolent convictions there are in the country, how many people are in prison who really shouldn't be there. And as you pointed out, how that negatively impacts their ability to participate in society at all. You know, whether that be getting regular jobs, getting assistance, benefits of any kind, and then the stigmatism that can come with it. You know, like prison typically you would think should be reserved for people who like can't keep their hands off of people. They can't help but take people's lives, like stuff like that. You know, you kind of have earned yourself more of a place in there, at least for a time. But just throwing people in prison for for having some drugs, we know that doesn't work. But we got to keep this up. And also, too, I think that we should, change up the law so that these people can get jobs, get benefits, and just have a little bit of help because everybody needs help, especially them. So.
That's right. That's right. Ban the box was part of the movement to stop the discrimination that happens against individuals who are formerly incarcerated.